Jaded, truly. All right, greetings once again. Welcome to the newbies who didn't appear with me earlier today. The end of last week really doesn't matter. You all are already creators of this moment, so there's nothing in the moment that you truly do not know. It would only be that of the memory that tells you different. And since we are focusing on the memory, we're going to stay in that little motif because it is a vast world. It is an experiential world. So let's understand. I need eyes and feet, Roxanne. Okay, let's understand creation. Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys are so heavy. You know, it's so funny because you travel as a light body after a while, and then you find your physical, and then you're like seated, and you feel everything about you. It's in this cycle of heavy. It's really quite an experience. All right, back to the memory. Let's talk about let's consider it. Let's start as the foundation. We understood the idea of you have to have time in order to have memory. Memory has to have time. It's part of the paradigm that you're living in. That's all. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean diddly squat. It's not going to be the end all tell all that your little ego mind of distraction runs down the path of I know best and tells everyone, look what I found, the golden nugget. There is no golden nugget. It's just another piece of relationship to reality for you to experience about yourself in this vast journey of remembrance. So you understand the memory is just another aspect of yourself that you've created for a particular experience. All experience in and of itself is unique every single moment. It has nothing to do with the last now. It has nothing to do with the next now. They're all unique. Memory has the ability to tie the nows together and give them congruency. That's what you guys love about this realm, using time, space-time locations, memorandum to have a particular relationship to reality other than what you would call the now. All right, so let's go to the now about the idea of the memory. Let's call it a container. So I'm flying around in the fleeting of the nows. I'm hanging out with an original, which is all of you. We call them originals because we reference the originals. There's no number. There's no fucking number of originals. Don't even call yourself an old soul because there ain't no time. Don't do that. Anyways, an original would be one that understood itself, which is all of you. It's the self that you are as the vibration of isness, the original. Understanding itself without the ability or the ability that was created as a reflection to see where you've been. So where were you? Always now. Fleeting. So an original is flying side by side. So let's say me and Ramsa are flying side by side and we're streaking through the galaxies creating ourselves, coming across different densities and dimensions, finding our little ways through the exploration of vibration, understanding the attraction and the expression, bending the light into the equilibrium of all that is, and just journey. And then all of a sudden we found the idea of how to reflect what was. What is this. What was is this. I can say is and look back at what was. I have that ability, and I will call this a memory, a social memory complex, a soul memory complex. Whatever feels good to you, then use that. Use that. Right? Because that's your isness, that's your truth. Now, this truth may only be this truth for now, and as you move through the nows, the unveiling of that reference point, whatever it is, memory, social memory complex, was, is, will be, doesn't matter, changes. Because that last law of the universe is going to catch up at some time. That last law, change is the only constant except for the first four laws. You're always going to change. It's the embracement of change that is fearful. Why? Because the memory has encouched within it particular experiences. Particular experience that you have only, listen very closely, the ability to focus on. Focusing on only the experience you have the ability to focus on or draw up an equal match, vibrational match to the details. Okay, it's raining out. My memory says if it's raining out, it's a possibility I'm going to get wet. Well, no shit. So you take precautions or steps to change your experience about it's raining out. Anyways, you have a reference point is what I'm talking about, right? Okay, good. So you have this reference points of memory that is experiential, bound to the separated egoic self. You got here, and that's where you are. Always referencing through memory how to get through life, through the cautionary tales of the predictability of the future's potentials of peril. So you prevent. You are afraid. You rely upon. You are not now to the fullest potential. But in the whole idea, of course you're now. You're always now. You can never get away from now because now is all there is. Second law of the universe, everything is here and now. It's never there and there. It's just your ability to relate to reality as a memory, as an idea, a memorandum to reflect. You got to really sink this into you because I want you to be badass aware of what you would understand yourselves to be in this journey, this whole portion. You want to start with the Akashic universe and be an idea of evolutionary? Well, you can't have a clue about evolution unless you have something to reflect on your own self as evolved. You need a memory. So the memory is a container that is neutral. It does not assign meaning. Emotional equations of experience that are kept within the egoic structure memory that uses emotion. Now that's the one that gives you the pain, isn't it? See, the neutrality is you get to do what you want. But since you had an egoic structure that was taught, this is life, you became validated as a truth of this way. Now that self creates, right? It has to. What you put out is what you get back, right? Fourth law, right? Or is it y'all are one or all? Fourth law, third law, fourth law. So what you put out is what you get back, right? So since you are a vibrational equation of all that is, when you were birthed upon here, there's a portion of your consciousness that is God. Remember, and I'm going to use your memory about this. You don't need to earn your way back to God because you've never left your Godship. It's impossible to be not all that is. Otherwise, it would be not all that is. And if there's one portion of all that is not all that is, then there is no all that is. Can't have plus one, can't have minus one. Remember that, okay? Okay, so since you are already exponentially God, your law one existence is in play at all times in the here and the now, then this vibratory self that was created with absenteeism, the memory was given in the moment to forget your connection. You felt it, everyone knew it, you had a way to live, and then earth, everything about it, the people that you were separated against, my opposition people. My mom is opposing, they're over there. My dad is opposing, they're opposite of me. Not imposing as in polarity, but they are outside of me. I didn't understand them as a subjective. I understood them as objective, right? So I coveted and I built a construct of an algorithm that says true, 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 attract, validate, reinforce, and you guys have cycles. And you rely on your memory to conduct your life. Everything is about a mission. Everything is about a purpose. Everything is about a meaning. Everything is about an outcome. Everything is about betterment. Everything is other than now, which is perfect because it's just a simple way to relate to reality. There's nothing ever wrong with anything that you are doing. The trick is to not use use the memory as the compass, right? Why? Why not use the now? The now is available in a plethora of vibrational attractions to take you to unparalleled realities that you can never conjure up in the repetition of a memory. Memory was, memory was, memory was. You take was to make an is, which leaves was. Cycles. Oh, sure, you get a couple new things, a couple of outfit, haircut, you get your nails done on and off through life, you go through a couple of lovers, and then you die. Right? Vibration. You sustain the same vibration using the memorandum as the equational guide, then the only thing that's going to happen is what? The same results. So you got to shake the shit out of yourself. You got to upset yourself. You got to see that you are not the memory. The memory is an aspect of you, like time ability to travel in time, huh? To use time as an asset instead of an idea of a standard. Well, time marches on. The fuck it does. It doesn't go anywhere until you focus on it, stamp it into the now and say, that's what time it is. And look at it go. See, it's still going in the now. See how time keeps going? It moves. Why? Because the now is constant. Always. So see that. You got to get these in place. You got to instill them in your heart. You want something to drink, Roxy? Yeah, I'm going to get some molasses in a minute. What do you want? Oh, okay. So anyways. What is that? Okay. So these fundamentals that we are instilling in you with the algorithm. Now listen, this is how we use humanity as an asset, memory as an asset. Why? Because we have to repeat. If you repeat, you seem to remember. Why? Well, because that's the way you were taught, so it's easy for you. It's not hard to be repetition. You guys are good at it. It's comfortable. It's your Linus blanket. Everyone relies upon certain aspects of comfort so you can guide your way through this. So we repeat enough until you see it within your complex that, hey, memory is not a victimization, not a guide, not a compass, not what I should do. It's an aspect to experience that room. That's all it is. Too simple. But see, meaning, gotta have meaning, gotta be something great. Why? Why do humans need that? Why? I bet I can go on Facebook right now and pull up about 15 fucking things in 30 seconds to show you this is needed to be looked at. You need to look at this because this is something emotionally equated to movement. It actually doesn't mean shit. It's giving you an emotional experience of movement to show your conductivity. I'm conducting my reality through my emotions to give me an experience other than the mediocrity of being here. That's why you guys are always striving to bend your emotions in so many different ways through the aspects of something found that relates to memory so you can place it in some kind of high regard and get everyone's attention and say, look what the fuck I found. Here. Mars is going retrograde. Smudge, motherfucking smudge, or you're going to be demonized. Don't sell yourself a story using memory. Because all of those aspects pull up from the memory experience. And whatever experience you are filling into your mind becomes playable, but not reliable. Playable. Everything is a relationship of reality. I relate to the towel, I relate to the refrigerator, I relate to the plastic, I relate to the counter, I'm relating to my blue jeans, Roxy's jeans, I'm relating to the toaster. Everything is relationship. How me and it are experiencing the moment. But if I use the regards of a polarity system that it lies somewhere between awesome and real suffering, then I better be cautionary and make a decision based off of my memory to keep myself in conformity of humanity's standards. Otherwise, I'm an outcast. No, I'm not. I'm God. And so are you. So the memory needs to be drilled. This egoic structure uses the vibration of remembrance, that vibration recall ability, to use the memories and everything in it, right, as a potential for you to attach to and go, oh my God, or it's like, oh, that's choice. Now, it may feel scary because the egoic mind says, hey, man, hey, this is going to fuck you up if you don't pay attention. This might actually happen if you don't do something about it. So it's selling you a story, and again, you understand. All of you understand when you make a decision based off of the smart thing to do, the logical thing to do, instead of the into itself. Relying on the intuition uses no memory. Memory is an idea of a potential reality to explore over again, but you can go back into your memory, much like you're doing right now, to experience a new way of the same idea. So it's never really a new song and dance, a new version of an old scene. It's never really that, although you can go down exactly to the same string of thought that you've already created through the memory, but you're a whole new position in going into the memory. If your relationship with it is other than what you were, which it can't be, then you're going to have a completely new experience about this thing you've already done. I'm wondering if you're doing that right now. Oh, let me say, yes. Oh, yes, yes, Danielson. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Jennifer, are you there?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Benton had some questions. I'm awesome. I mean, I don't know how else to be. My mimic can try to be a different way, but I don't know. Go ahead. Brent had questions, right?
Yeah, Brent's out with Colton and the family, so he
It's a
watched today.
family affair.
Since there wasn't question answer time, he had two questions. The first one is, you said this morning, it's all a memory, but some of it is now. When are we now?
When you are relating to it as a new relationship, okay? Brent Harpy, everything is not about relationships, but you think the same thing means the same thing. I look at the sunshine and it's a sunshine. It's not a sunshine. It's a new way to relate to what it is now that's not sunshine relying on the memory. So you most of the time you rely on your memory to conduct a vibrational match and have that experience. But it is a relationship to the memory that gives you a now experience that's not relatable to the same experience in time. In other words, one day you see someone get killed. Next day you can see someone get killed. Both days are different experiences because you didn't rely on the memory as an atrocity. The next day it was an experience relating to reality. That's extreme, but that shows you the polarized point of view, and you have an equatable choice to do either one. But you're asking me, what did I mean? If you look, you're always now, Brent, you're thinking again. You're thinking, motherfucker, you think so much trying to map out creation. You can't map it out. Your puny little fucking brain can't figure out creation based off of your 30-odd experiences of trying to become a Power Ranger. You're not going to get creation from that. You're going to have to be it in the moment and let it slip and slide and carry you away without using the cautionary predictability processes to make yourself feel better because you've accomplished something. Brent Harpy, you are enough. I don't know if you know that, but you know, that's the idea. So let's not think about what do you mean by it's now. It is now. How you feel about it. Is it a now experience because you're open to the vibration that is instead of the vibration through your detailed mind pulling up the reference points of, oh, this is rain, so I'm going to have this experience with the rain, which is completely bullshit. That's what you chose to do, but it's not a standard. Nothing is standard. Change is the only constant. Go ahead.
I actually think what he meant, well, I mean, I'm going to ask a question.
Well, go ahead. Rock it on.
Is that I think what he realized was that because a lot of the nows are based on what you said, that reference point of the memory, how would you know that into itself in the now? And that's what we're all scared to get to know.
Well, yeah, that's what you got to feel. You can't.
Right.
It's a series of nows of being more yourself, and you will see a lot of you know the big selves. It's real easy. Hi. Oh, get up in the morning. Oh, yeah. Hi. Good morning, world. Yeah. Oh, I got to go to work. I don't want to go to work. What do you choose? If you choose to go to work, then you choose the memory. Period. It's so fucking simple. If you want to go to work, your relationship with that is not an obligation, emotion of memorandum to conduct yourself in cautionary tales, making sure you had a paycheck so I can pay my mortgage and eat and all that good stuff to get through life because I'm not God. You got to be God to understand God, so you got to take the actions that says I'm God. And God doesn't go to work if he doesn't want to. That kind of idea, right? Are you following me on that, Jen?
Yeah. Then his second question is, you said this morning giving advice, sorry, this is a funny question. Giving advice is vibrating your worthiness and getting your trifecta. What is the trifecta?
Say that again.
Roxanne, we're laughing about this. Giving advice is vibrating your worthiness and getting your trifecta. I think you
Okay,
were
you're always, listen, you're always, first off, let me say, Brent, you're always vibrating your worthiness. Are you worthy to say yes to this when your mind says no? Are you worthy of saying no to this because your heart says no, but your mind says obligation? That's your aspect of worthiness of your own creation. Am I allowed to do what I want to do, choose what I want to do, and give nothing in consideration an idea? That's your worthiness. That has nothing to do with the idea of vibrating and the idea of what's the word he used. Say it again.
Trifecta.
No, before that. Advice, right?
Yeah.
Advice has nothing to do with of authentic, of worthiness. Advice is just an aspect. When you give someone advice, you're using time, ego, and memory to conduct the symphony of, you know what? You know, this is what you should do. Because in my experience, that's the trifecta. Those 3 points of awareness conducting an idea of advisement. It's not a standard. It was just an idea of, let's say, a conclusion, if you will, of what works to get it through Brent's and all of your mind, that here's how I create realities using the 3 aspects that are most reliable in this experience called third density as a human. My memory, time, and my egoic structure. So I'm advising people to be a particular vibration. Like, you know, all of you know when people give you advice, you're like, stop it. Stop. What? You know, if you ask for advice, then you're afraid because you don't trust this. Advice is not needed, ever. Because everyone is forever. There's no death. There's no extinguishing. There's no punishment. There's no reward. There is. And that's it. And when you start seeing that, you become untethered. So is that it for the question?
Yeah, that's it for his questions.
We know it's a difficult trip because the reliability of the memory and where you pull everything out of there cannot be easily dismissed because it's disheartening, because then you lose what? What do you lose? Image. You guys rely on image, rely on things you've done. You always want to get noticed for whatever particular reasons. You give your advice to your kid and you tell your parents off because you don't want to give advice, because everything is about relating to reality as I fucking matter. I count. I'm worthy. I got something going on here. Because why? Because memory taught you that. You came into the earth. All you did was play, play, play. Then you said, okay, you can't play anymore. They said, you can't play anymore. Come on. Come with me. I'm going to teach you how to be logical, clinical, cynical, ugly. I'm going to teach you how to put other people down and build yourself up. I'm going to teach you can fail and be successful. I'm going to teach you how to live in fucking pain. And they did. Why? As an experience. But see, it's painful when you're in the experience. And now that you can wake up, which you have, and see the experience as an experiential instead of a polarized measurement, and start to choose your life differently, then you can see the aspects of creation from the inside. The kingdom of your heaven, your kingdom of heaven lies within. The diving into you. And that's what you're doing. You're finding out about what creates your reality. Not through magicry and wizardry and intent and wants and needs and what I should do, and the universe is like going to pay me back because I did some good stuff. Universe doesn't pay dick. Universe equates to you instantly in the moment because it's the law of attraction. It's here and now. What you put out is what you get back, and your experience is directly equated to what you are in the relationship with your own worth now. The reason why we use worth in the idea of separation is because you were separated and you feel unworthy of life. So your whole life is earning it back, isn't it? When have you guys stopped trying? I dare you. I fucking dare you to stop trying. Watch what's going to happen. You're just not going to be lazy, because the trying is effort and lazy is effort. They're all effort to approach life as an image. To gain, to be, to lazy, sit around and do nothing. See, all that is image. The now doesn't provide you with the memorandum of image to relate to. It does not. The now is. When you live that, then all of a sudden everything that's disheveled you for your entire life starts to crumble. But the emotional train wreck you feel with all the uncertainty, no image to rely on, nothing to hold on to, no footholds, no ideas of anything except just simply me, well, then you're going to start feeling your worthiness return. And it's going to give you an experience of I'm worth this. Brave at first, courage, all the virtues, testing itself at the point of breaking perfect. It's the journey, it's the mastery to come home, to remember you. And the remembrance is using no memory. You see, you got to see that. You have aspects of you that can help trigger the remembrance of the whole you. Those are different lives and different things, but see, you guys seek those as entertainment, distraction, past and futures as aspects of relating to reality as a certain truth, so you can have an identifiable piece of you brought back so you feel better temporarily. Whenever you have an emotional experience that can be measured by human standards, then you know that's an egoic structure of image that has only been cycled to keep your continuation of separation going. The now doesn't require anything. It's already built. It's already everything. It's all that is right now. Everything is here and now. So when you start to be that, not relying on the memory, then you can use the relationship of the memory to explore different portions of you in a vibrational sense of relationship that's authentic to the heart. But of course, the proving mind doesn't believe it because it's just your imagination. It's not really happening. All that bullshit that it sells you. And you're going, you're right, I'm stupid, I shouldn't do that. Or you go, you know what, fuck you. I'm going to go and explore myself and have a tea party with Alice. You know? I'm going to do that. And you start to open up and experience yourself to vibrational matches because you guys don't believe it yet. When you start believing it, then you'll know it, that you're in a dream. You're creating a vibrational holodeck through your isness. And it's giving you a relationship of all the founding factors of gravity, density, compression to have sound, giving yourself a body that has the senses to equate the pressurized world that you live in, to have weight, to have friction, to have everything you know as human. A mastery of what you are. And you're all up here busy trying to figure out the game using all the tools of the game. You have to break away from the game and start looking at it from a broad scope. Back and see yourself. The reliability of the memory is another asset that gives you the ability to understand yourself as time, as different selves, as what was. The dictation of humanity commanded it as the truth. Is it a wonder that humanity has come up with a saying, history repeats itself? Duh. Because that's all you know, and that's what you use. It's what you want. Till more light is shine and more opportunity, potentials is shown, and those shonings, ideas that are shown, S-H-O-N-E, upon the lad of authentic, spurring the each that receives that light until themselves and starts to birth their authentic, brings the idea of ascension by itself. But that's not a concern or consideration unless you want to play that as a truth. Then you can have that experiential reality. Just as long as you know it, you're doing it because you want to, not because you fucking have to. Because if you relate to have to, then you're going to draw on the vibration of less than, because have to is a commandment of a must. And anything that must have someone giving the must. Even if it's your ego, even if it's your history, it's still the vibration of lack, which keeps you equated in the cyclic idea of the now that you've always been. Reinforcing the memory. So you don't need to do that. You may have some tea. Hang on. You know, it's really good to get here again, you know. It's always good. I would encourage all of you to channel and bring entities in. If you doubt it, then doubt it. But still, as Seth says, pretend. The ego can't really object to pretending. I mean, Seth said it. If your ego is too strong, just say, well, I pretend to channel. Look at me, I'm channeling. But if your little egoic mind says, oh, okay, you're serious about this. All right, I'll jump on. Now it becomes a turncoat, right? The ego becomes turncoat. I'm on your side. How do we know we're channeling? Are you sure? Is that really real? Right? See, what you want to do is just allow this magical land to happen with no intention and no memory to conduct it. Everyone thinks channeling is supposed to be a certain thing, a certain this and certain that. Well, it's not. I mean, how else do you have unconditional forever if you don't have diversity that is unmeasurable, unjudgeable, undefinable, untetherable? No standards. Think about that, Daniel-san. Think about that. So anyways, so when you channel, invite people in, entities. Sit them inside of you and say, what do you want? I want a steak. All right, me too. Take them out for dinner, right? Oh, yeah. See? See? So anyways, you got a good foundation. You got a good foundation of memory and how it conducts your life. You want to understand it's not a truth that needs to be chosen. That's it. All truths are true. When you choose it as a real, then it creates your reality, period. When you use your memory as certain, then you will certainly get that memory vibration equal in your now and live that experience. It's undeniable. You can't shoo it away. You can start looking at reality without the memory, which encases what? Polarity, judgment, balance, where you're supposed to be, logistics, interpretation of evolving. All of that shit goes out the fucking door when you're simply not relying on the reality of memory, and you start to feel Earth, yourself, relating to it, human, not relying on the memory experiences of all those emotions to live a particular way and have a repeated experience, the vibration, how you feel about life. That now experience of using the reliability of memory no more gives you an unbelievable, almost tormented view of how much is there for you to let in so you can experience the wholeness of you without trying to chaotically contain it, memorize it, label it, map it, put it in your pocket, and hold it dear. And just be the everlasting flow of the now that you always are. And remember, memory needed in the aspect of experience. You need a memory to have time. You need a time to have a memory. They are symbiotic, right? So guess what? Now you understand them as relationships, tools. When someone comes and gives you advice and they have no value in your life, listen close. They have no value in your life. They're a stranger. Then you kind of like polite. Doesn't feel with you. You know, you're not mad at them for giving you advice. They're being nice. And you're like, oh, cool. Thanks for that. It's a good idea. I'll consider it. And you're pleasant about that. But if that value is someone that you put a great authority in, mom, dad, parent, work, husband, wife, boss, then it has a little bit more contortion to it. Where does that contortion come from? Memory. Because you have an investment in time with these people are the same people, so therefore you have to create the vibrational match to have that obligated experiences with these people. But the brave people doesn't give a shit what they were. The one that lives now as the authentic explorer of itself speaks its heart in the moment, not its mind, to conduce itself into another fucking coma of fitting in. Don't be afraid to ruffle. Don't be afraid to change. You want new realities, you can't ask for it. You have to live it. You have to be the experiencer of the unknowable. You rely on the known, you're going to get a known reality. But this memory that you pull from is a great world to understand. There is nothing wrong with anything in creation. There is nothing extinguishable. Why would you ever want to get rid of all that is, right? No reason to. So if you can see now that the memory was a reliability, and you can see me now and you now together here looking at the memory field, then you can start to see it is in and of itself a world to explore with a new relationship to yourself in the now that doesn't command the trifecta. Memory, time, and ego to conduct its world, to get by, to make it through, to become something, to become the whole idea of what is the world in polarity. No one's fault. It's just the results of what you call a time-based experience and coveting truth through thousands and thousands upon thousands of generations coming to the singular point of now. And now you are encompassing the human aspect within yourself right now, and you have an awareness about memory, about time, about the relationship with yourself, about your own love, about your own ego. You are awake to the self that you are exploring. By the way, guys, you never explore anywhere else. You can't go outside of yourself because everything that is projected is you. So you're constantly going in. That's where you need to focus. Your relationship to reality tells you the vibrational match and tells you the vibrational potential of change. And since you rely on time, so you take your time to make a choice. Other realities, you are now the attraction choice. You have no conscious choice to be made because you don't give a shit what happens, because there's no reliability on safety or security or perils to become in from the unknown, to becoming in from the unknown. You don't need a choice to make the right decision. See it? So look how the entire construct is showing you, here's the black and white, here's the skeleton key to all the rooms of you. Now you got to go and explore, and you got to be the truth and the authentic in expression. Get out of this theory. Theory is the reliability of memory. Memory has all the theories on the aspects of their futures. All futures are based off of the known past in the memory, because that's the only way you can reference a future. You can't reference a future from the now, because the now doesn't command futures. The now is. See how it's all tying together? It's real easy now. You guys are starting to get a real good vision of what creation is, what it does, what it shall be as a match, a truth that you are. Express it. Express that freaking truth.
So can I just ask something? I know I can't.
Yes.
So
can I ask something?
So the memory can be equated to the filter.
As a portion of the filter, but not a standard. See, the memory, you have memory in your memory, a relationship using the memory as a filter. The ego is the filter. The ego is the belief system that draws upon the memory that says, here's what happened, and it runs through this, and it shows you the vibration. It doesn't show you the imagery. Listen very closely. It shows you the vibration of suffering. So the image comes up through your translations, because just remember, everything is vibration. The ego doesn't have an ability to give you a picture of a rose. The ego gives you a vibration, and your mind interprets it as the equal of memory of a rose. Okay? Just like the whole self is the originator creating the vibrations, you are interpreting the vibrations through your receptive idea. So when it comes in pure, it's an unknowable experience that needs not to be measured. When you run it through the filters of your experience in the past, it's not the memory, it's the filters that you equated as the emotional content of the ego that says it's the memory. Are you following that? They're two different ideas.
Yeah.
We can go over that again.
No, that was beautiful. I just saw that. That was so I mean, the ego is really what, according to how you feel in every moment, translates whatever your life is giving back to you through what you're vibrating in that moment.
If the ego uses the polarity scale, if you allow it to validate itself, it's always asking you, how do you feel about this? And you're going, this is shitty. This is wrong. This is right. You shouldn't eat meat. Right?
Right.
That's the ego. Those are the belief systems. You know those because they automatically give you a polarity field of choice, of relationship to it. Right? Most of it's habit, but now you're becoming aware of it. Doesn't equate the memory and the ego as the unum. They're the trifecta. They use that in a symbiotic to give you a certain room called humanity. That's all.
Right.
It's not great or less. It's just awareness. Everything is a respectability to how you respect yourself and ability to understand the relationship with your truth of reality. Seth said it. Everything. God, I love him. I love you, Seth. Everything is relationship to reality. Everything. How you feel about it. So when you feel contorted, upset, pissed off, happy, sad, hopeful, all of that is human. Nothing wrong with it. Where do you get those experiences? From time. In your time, your memory keeps those. The idea, you draw them up, you run them through filters and says, the mind goes, the egoic structure says, oh, this is what this looks like. This is going to be painful, so we need to avoid this. And you say, you're right, I need to avoid this. And you avoid it by taking action against your own heart that says you want to do this, but you can't do that because of this. So which one do you choose? Well, you choose the whole or you choose the fractal. Either one is perfect because they're all the equal relationship to reality. But since you are awake, you have an ability to see a different relationship with reality with yourself. And you make a different choice and have a different experience. Because the thing all of you cannot deny is you've never not been in the now, living. Every waking moment is the now experiencing, and there's nothing to be afraid of, ever. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Thank you.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. Checking with my peeps. Okay, the last idea I want you to understand. When you start to become broad, you're going to start noticing within yourself why there's no reason to object to anyone creating the way their truth is. You got to see that all of us whole, including you, don't give a shit, don't care what anyone is doing, because everyone is reinforcing all that is by expressing. Me giving birth to you, you giving birth to me, constant of the now. That's just an image so you can see that the one are all of one idea, but there's no break in it truly. So you got to see this as you become more of a relationship to the allowance of the now, to see how everything is created, then you can have no accord towards another in any action that they ever do, because their action is priceless, immeasurable. It is their truth bringing reality. If it slights you, it tings you in the wrong way, then you know you have a filter that's running around saying this is wrong. It's not wrong. It's reality is. And when you understand that relationship with it, then you're going to understand the relationship with yourself. Doesn't mean you need to hang around and endure it. I mean, if a guy or a woman or someone is being a little bit obtuse and you don't want to tolerate, walk the fuck away. And that goes in any of it. High or low, go. Live, but accept yourself in that moment as the friction between you and reality is that you've attracted. It's your truth. Get over it. Doesn't matter the details they employ. That's where the confusing mind gets. Everyone says, oh, they did this. That's a bad action. Oh, that's a good action. Avoid, go after. Avoid, go after. And that just keeps you in the cycle. What you want to do is get upset about life so you can see there's set ways that are lying within your memory that keep you confided in the idea of the relationship with you and the ego, and you confide in each other on how to navigate this wonderful, perilous life that's going to give you a shitstorm at the end if you're not careful. Blah, blah, blah. Anything that you have. All right? So you're starting to see you're going to become more about the now. It's not even you're going to tolerate or have an indifference. You're going to embrace humanity, but you're not going to embrace them as a measurement scale like, oh my God, you're so awesome, or oh my God, that's really shitty. You're not going to use humanity to relate to these ideas of humans. You're going to relate them from a whole perspective, a perspective of allowance that gives you a new vibrational match that equates to something that cannot be relied on in the memory as a measurable experience. Thank you, Roxanne. Okay. So relax. Kind of like you, Jen. You know, your father, awesome guy, God being himself, being his truth. Before it hurt you because it was an aspect of approval, authority, time investment. And now his words don't cut you because you know he's a God being. There's nothing. Only thing that keeps you being is the future. The future of fears of loss, of losing, of responsibility, causing, affecting, pain, everything human kept you in that algorithm. But now that you've backed up and seen the big picture, your dad, your children, your sisters, your mothers, I know you don't have children, anybody and everybody is a God. Having an experience, speaking their authentic, creating a reality, and going on in the nows. So that's a big perspective. And then you can start to relate to the world as a choice. But the enduring choice that gives you an endearment of your authentic just starts to spry up inside of you and say, this is awesome. And it can be polarized. It can be something of that measure. But you relate to it is not measured by the self. The ego is not present to measure your action. It's an experience that some might consider polarized, but you don't give a flying fuck about some because you are one. And that's all there is. All right. Good shit coming for you. Good, Daniel, son. We like saying that. Any questions before we split? I got eyes. Anybody? Oh, good. What you making, Tammy?
Stars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What stitch you using?
V.
Actually, never learned that one.
Easy and mindless. So it's easy to keep my hands busy and still listen to class.
Oh, sure. And it's
Yeah.
actually mindless is because you don't need to pay attention to what you already are in the now. You know? It's like when Colton was going to tear down that wallpaper. He got in the presence of the room, allowed himself to express, and didn't think about it, and he tore down the wallpaper and painted it with no problem. He was the moment. He was mindless. Isn't that great? It's great to be mindless. Mindful is distracting. Very good. Anything else, anyone? All right, I'll bring Foxy Roxy back. It's good to see you all once again. This is Jaded until the next now.
Thank you.